The time now is 5 to 8. And a bill that would give parents who'd experienced a miscarriage paid leave will have its second reading in the Commons today. The plans include granting 3 days of bereavement leave to those who lose a pregnancy before 24 weeks. And at the moment, anyone going through it isn't automatically granted leave or pay. The private member's bill was brought by the SNP MP Angela Crawley, who's with us this morning. Good morning, Angela.
Good morning, Lucy.
Good morning. So this is the second reading then in the Commons today. Just tell us what the purpose of the bill is.
Sure. Well, Lucy, at the moment, parents who experience the loss of a pregnancy after 24 weeks, which is known as a stillbirth, are entitled to up to 2 weeks paid leave. But currently there is no provision in law for parents who experience that loss before 24 weeks. So people who, and there are approximately 1 in 4 people who will experience miscarriage or recurrent miscarriage, have no provision to take paid leave. The current line is that they can use sick leave or unpaid leave, but I simply think that's not good enough, and that parents should have that grief recognised and they should have the right to take paid leave.
And your bill unanimously passed its first reading in Westminster.
Yes, so the bill has cross-party support from all political parties. It's just not been taken up by the government at this point, and I'm calling on the UK government to introduce a period of paid leave which gives parents that statutory right to take a period of leave when they experience a miscarriage or pregnancy loss.
And just to point out, the UK government give us a statement which says it recognises losing a child at any stage is incredibly difficult. It's a very personal experience, and some may want to stay at home while others may prefer to continue to work. And the government believes that individuals are best placed to understand, and good employers will respond. There are employers who are responding already, Angela, and making provisions for people in this way.
Yeah, there are, and I'm so grateful. We have almost all of the local authorities in Scotland now have taken up the call to introduce a pregnancy leave policy. Quite a lot of large organisations and businesses have also introduced pregnancy leave policies, and that is welcome. But there is a gap there, and that's what my bill seeks to fill, is that gap where there is no statutory provision and where not all employers either have the ability or capacity to introduce a bespoke pregnancy leave policy. So if the government were to introduce this bill today, it would guarantee any parent who experiences a miscarriage a minimum of 3 days paid leave. Now, I recognise 3 days will never be enough for some people, but it's a recognition that that loss and that grief is profound and that they should have that time. So I do fundamentally believe that we've come great strides, and I'm really proud of the work that we've done in terms of encouraging organisations to bring in pregnancy leave policies. But I do think the government should fill that gap where there is no provision or legal right at this point.
What sort of a difference do you think it would make to people?
I think it would make a huge difference. I recognise the point that not everyone necessarily wants to disclose an early pregnancy, that not everyone will want to take that period of time off. But for those who do, and I think it's significant that, we recognise there is a loss there and people will grieve that loss. And people obviously grieve differently, but I think not just the physical effects of a miscarriage, but the practical and the emotional effects as well. Like, people do need time to come to terms with that loss, and I think it's right that we recognise that in the law and give them that legal right. And it also creates a culture in workplaces that recognises that they're supported and that when they return to work they'll have an understanding from their employer. And I think that is a really important message as well. It takes away the stigma of miscarriage that sadly does exist as well.
Okay, well, thank you for talking to us this morning, SNP MP Angela Crawley. Her private member's bill, which is calling for those who experience miscarriage before 24 weeks to have a guaranteed minimum of 3 days leave. Thank you very much.